Clay, hope you're doing well. Wanted to do a little guitar lesson today. This time we're going to talk about double stops sixths. Now, there is a definite chance that I could be very wrong about some of the music theory behind this, but so let me just play for you what I'm talking about. It's these kind of things. So I have heard those kind of things being played all over the place in all different types of music. And so I did a little bit of digging and research as to what is going on there and how to replicate it, because I think it's got a kind of a cool sound. And I came across the concept of double stop sixths. And so I wanted to explain it so you can kind of understand what's going on behind it with a little bit of the music theory, but then also should kind of teach you some patterns that you can learn and just some easy ways to install it into your own playing. So, first and foremost, I'm going to be playing in the key of C. And so, I'm going to try to center everything off of both this major pentatonic scale and then also the major scale. That was a little sloppy. So that's kind of going to be where we're at for the most part. And so the reason why they're called sixths, well, I guess first and foremost the reason that it's a double stop is because you're playing two notes playing two notes in close or quick succession or at the same time, so making a double stop. A double stop is any time you're, playing two notes together at once, I guess. And the reason they're called sixths is because if you think about the scale, if you give every note in the scale, like a do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, there's 8 notes there. That's why it's called an octave. If we look at the C major scale, if we give every note in that scale a number, 1 through 8, it would be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's the octave. And then you do it again: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the idea here is that you're taking notes that are 6 steps apart in terms of the numbers. So if we've got 1, 2, 3, so start here at this is the major third: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's where you get the term sixths from. I very well could be wrong. Please correct me if I am wrong, but that's just the way I understand it in my mind. So I'm going to go through double stops, both double stop sixths. We're going to play it on, generally when I play it, I'm playing I'll play it on the high E string and the G string, and I'll skip the B. Or likewise, I'll play on the B string and the D string, skip the G. So there's one string in between. And in this instance, I'm going to play, so this right here, just for reference, I'm playing this is the G string on the 9th fret and the E string on the 8th fret. And this is a part of this C major, so you're playing this note and this note. I also am doing a little bit of hybrid picking, where I'm playing using the pick for this note and my finger for this note. That's just the way I like to do it. So, all of those formalities aside, let's talk about a little bit of the pattern. So, it really helps right now if you know how to harmonize the major scale. I believe I have a video about that on my channel. I will try to link it. If not, remind me in the comment section, I will find it, because harmonizing the major scale is an important idea. So, and this is a natural progression of what we're doing. So if we go back to those numbers, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What you can do is take each of those notes and make a chord out of it. And there's a pattern to it. So the 1 is a C major. The 2 is a D minor. The 3 is this E minor. The 4, F major. The 5, G major. And And just so you know, the 1, C major, the 4, F major, and the 5, G major, that's where you get like the 1, 4, 5 from the blues progression. Those are typically the most important because the 1, the 4, and the 5 are the major chords out of the scale. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is minor. So in this case it would be an A minor. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. B minor. I think it's technically a B diminished. I usually skip the 7th because I don't like it. It's strange. And then 8 is C major again. So the pattern you need to remember: the 1 is major, the 2 and 3 are minor, the 4 and 5 are major, and then the 6 is minor, and then the 7th is weird, diminished minor. I'm not going to get into that. And really the easiest way to remember it is that the 1, the 4, and the 5 are the major intervals. And then everything else is minor, is basically the best way to think about it. So, with that in mind, let's apply it to these double stop sixths. So basically what we're doing is, instead of playing the full chord, instead of playing those full chords, we're just going to pick the major third and the high octave out of each one, and we're going to go. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Is let me try playing the scale a little bit differently. Maybe it'll hit a little bit better. So what I want you to do is visualize the notes that I'm playing on the G string and the E string. So it's this 9th fret and 8th fret, but I'm going to play it from this full bar chord. So this is C, D minor. So here I went both on the 10th fret, E minor, same thing, both on the 12th fret. Then we'll go down here for F major. So we've got 2nd fret, 1st fret, G major, A minor, both on the 5th fret, B minor, or I guess it's B diminished, but we're going to play these two here on the 7th fret, and then we're back to C major. And if you'll note, there's a pattern there, where when we're playing on the E and the G string, they're 1 fret apart, right? So you've got your high note here, and then on the G string, you're one fret apart. And if I just play the major ones, so this is C, and then if I go to F, up here, C, and then F, same relationship, and then G. Those are all of the major double stop sixths in this progression. And then the minor ones, so we'll start with this D, that's the 2. The minor ones are just played on the same fret. So on the major ones, you just go 1 fret up. On the minor ones, you play on the same fret. And then we go major, major, and then for the A, and then the B, both minor. So in this instance, the D, the E, so that's the whole progression there. And then the idea is that you can slide in between these however you want. Typically the way I've seen it is, it's a really nice way to get from one chord to another. So like, let's say the chord progression goes C to F. So you could go, and maybe you could play one in between to. So right when you get to this, that's when they would change from the to the F, the switch. A lot of different things. You can use it in your soloing. So if we're playing in the key of C, a lot of different things you can do. Now I also want to teach it to you on the B and G strings. Now the relationship is different, and therefore I'm going to teach it to you in a little bit of a different way. So instead of picturing this as your C chord, I want you to picture this as your C chord on the 3rd fret on the A string. So it's an A major shape, just moved up so it's played in the key of C. So I'm playing 3rd fret, 5th fret, 5th fret, 5th fret on the A, D, G, and B strings. Now, if we take the same notes, we play them here. So this time we're playing a 5th and the 3rd, right? So this is our C, this is our 5th, this is our 3rd. And here we were playing 3rd and root. So it's a little bit different, but you can still do the same exact thing. Now, it's also, I hope that this doesn't get confusing, because, so remember the relationship on the E and G strings was for the major ones, you're 1 fret apart, for the minor ones, you're on the same fret. Well, that relationship gets flipped when you're playing it on the B string and the D string. And the reason for that is if you look at this as your C major chord, the notes we're going to play are here on the 5th fret on the B and D strings. So that's your major. Now let's find the other majors. There's F, so that's these two, up here on the 10th fret, and then G, right here, on the 12th fret. So that's your major relationship. And then your minor chords, the shape is going to be like this. This is our D minor, but we're only playing these notes. And then A, B. Okay, so with all that in mind, let's walk through the things, the progression of 6 straight up the neck. So if this is our C, so we're major, then we go minor, A minor, B minor. Now we're up to F major. Sorry, this. Yep. Now we're up to G. I was actually, so this is C, and then it's D minor, and then E minor. Sorry, I don't know what I said. A and B. That's not right. It's C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major. So we went major, minor, minor, major, major. Now we're minor, minor, A minor, B minor, and then C again. Alright? So to refresh, if we're playing it on the high E string and the G string, major chords look like this, minor chords look like this. Major, minor, major, minor. If we're playing it on the B string and the D string, your major looks like this, and your minor looks like this. And then the progression is always, the 1 is major, the 2 is minor, the 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, 6 is minor, 7 is minor, diminished, and then 8 is the root major again. Alright? Now, the best way in my mind is to visualize those chords that you're playing. So like, you know, when I started off that this is like your C major chord, just imagine you're picking out the notes of those chords. And then if you think D minor, well yeah, you can just pick out those notes. But if you're somebody who operates more off of a patterned approach, then I can teach that to you now. So the pattern is always going to be, I'm going to use as a reference point the note you're playing on the high E string, and then what you need to go to for the next one up. Alright, so if this is our C major, to go to D minor, we slide up 2 frets. Now I like to play the major ones with my first finger and middle finger on the E string and G string, and then the minor ones I play with my ring finger on the high E string, but my middle finger still on the G string. So my middle finger never moves, but I just rotate between major and minor, and then obviously the minor one is on the same fret. So starting as from the very high E note on the 8th fret, so we go 8, we go 10, we go 12, 12 is the same as open. And then I'm going to, this is our F, so this is up on the 13th fret or the 1st fret. I'm going to jump down here because it sounds a little better. And then G is up to the 3rd fret. A minor is up to the 5th fret. B minor is up here to the 7th fret. And then we go up one more to C. And if you'll notice, this is exactly the same in terms of whole step, half step as the... Oh, sorry. So it's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So, I know there was a lot of theory, a lot of stuff all over the place, but what I want you to take away is that if you think about it in terms of the scale, all you're doing is you're harmonizing, you're moving up the scale on two different strings on the same 6-note interval, right? And then if you just remember the pattern, and while you're doing that, the easiest way to do that is to picture the chord. So when I'm playing this one on F, it's because I know that an F chord is like this. But I'm just playing that. Now also, we can play it on the B string and the G string. Sorry, the B string and the D string. But the relationship gets flipped. C here, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, also A minor, B minor, C. So there we go. That is how I think about these double stop sixths. You know, when you hear that, you know, those guys are, they're not just playing random notes that go together, they're actually playing it in such a way that it makes a lot of sense with the scale. And there's a lot of fun things that you can do with it. Mess around with this, you can mix it into your solos, you can use it for some lead lines, it's a really nice way to transition between chords to provide some kind of continuity, so you're not just going C, C, F, you can go... A lot of fun things you can do, so just walking up the scale until I hit that F. Okay, so I hope that that made some sense. I know there's a lot of stuff there, and it's probably a little bit of a lengthier lesson, but I hope that it helps. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.